Alright, I'm using the mic this time because the sound last time wasn't that great. That's blocked, so I'm not going to be able to close that, but whatever. I'm in between Alamogordo and Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've spent the last week and a half in Alamogordo. Wasn't a whole lot there to show off. I did go to White Sands National Park. I did go to the Space Museum that is there. Actually realized I've been there before as a kid. And now I'm on my way over to Albuquerque. And I figured I've got, 3 hours of driving, 200 miles-ish. And it would be a good time for me to tell you what I've got going on, because this video will not go up until I'm probably halfway through my trip. So yeah, I might as well fill you in on what's going to be going on and where I'm going to be. On March 2nd, I leave Denver and I fly to Australia. And I will be in Australia for basically all of March. I got invited by Greg at Ride ADV Australia to take part in the Yamaha Tenere Rally. And so I'm going to go spend about a week riding around the Victoria High Country. The rest of the time just kind of doing whatever. So I fly down there. So I leave on the 2nd. I arrive on the 4th, 17 hours later. Because time zones and the international date line. But fly into Brisbane, transfer down to Sydney. They're going to pick me up in Sydney. The Ride ADV Australia guys are based just out of Sydney at a farm that they have, ranch, whatever you want to call it. And the first week that I'm there, roughly, I'm going to be on my own. They're providing a bike, and I'm going to do day trips. There's a weekend trip they have planned with just their crew that I'll take part in. But I'm just going to kind of get used to their bike and explore around the area a bit. And then the Tenere Rally is 5 days, riding all around in the Victoria High Country. And then the last week that I'm there, I'll be just kind of touristing it around in Sydney and check out all the stuff there that I didn't get a chance to see. And then I fly back on the 28th. And the really funny part is when I fly back on the 28th, I arrive before I left. Also because of time zones and international date lines. So I leave at like 8 p.m. on the 28th out of Sydney, something like that. And I arrive back in Denver at like 5 p.m. on the 28th. So I get my day back. But yeah, so Greg and another guy from Ride ADV, who the only name that I know him by is Crash, so don't know. But they came over last year and rode a bunch of the Idaho and Washington BDRs, a bunch of stuff up in Vancouver Island. They rode around with Corey from Camel ADV a bunch, and they did a big section of the Continental Divide down through Idaho and Wyoming and all that stuff. And they had reached out to me when they were planning this thing and got route files that I had done and my hard way route and all that stuff. And that's how we got to talking. After that, Greg basically reached out to me and said, hey, if you can ever get yourself to Australia, pick one of our rides and come along. We'll give you a bike, we'll do all the stuff. So that's what we're doing. I got myself to Australia, and they're gonna take care of everything else. So they've been incredibly generous. It'll be fun to go down. Australia has been on the bucket list forever. Australia and New Zealand. They're gonna let me ride one of their Teneres, which is actually gonna be one of the ones that they shipped here to ride here. Yeah, it's gonna be a month of craziness. I've never been south of the equator, so that'll be a first for me. I've never been to Australia. I've always wanted to, and I'm gonna go get to ride in riding paradise that is Australia backcountry. So that's where I'm gonna be for all of March. I get back from that and I have about a month where I'm gonna be mostly editing footage, because I have every anticipation of coming back from that with a ton of video. And then I'm going to go up to Giant Loop. I'm going to be at Giant Loop again. This will be my 3rd year. And I'll be back with the Veterans Back 40 crew. And then I might be at Mountain Madness, which is like the weekend after Giant Loop. I'm not quite positive on that yet. That's still kind of flexible. And then I'm not sure after that. I have a family reunion potentially later in June. So I might be kind of out off the grid for a little while after that. And I just wanted to let you guys know that in March I will be heading south and checking out the land down under. And I'm really excited. It's going to be really cool. You know, never mind the fact that I've got strangers who are going to let me ride their bike and go on this big adventure rally, but I'm going to get to go and explore Australia. I'm going to film everything. That's going to probably be my big series of videos for this year. But yeah, we're going to go do this thing. We'll see how that goes. I got to remember to ride on the left side of the road. Off-road I'll probably be okay. It's going to be on the roads that I'm going to be like all backwards for a little while. So what I'm doing now is, what is today, the 20th? I'm going up to Albuquerque. I'm going to be there for a couple of days, and I'm actually meeting up with my parents and driving back to Colorado Springs with them. Foley's going to go into storage while I'm gone. Got a couple more hours of driving. I'll be in Albuquerque for like 3 days. And then prepping to go to Australia. This is going to be awesome. Well, I will continue filming for all of the lead up and the prep and all of that stuff. That's what's going on. And yeah, we're going to go see what Australia has in store.
3 days later.
All right. A couple of days later, I am in my parents' place. I've been here for a couple of days, and I leave the day after tomorrow. So, just working on getting packed, organizing stuff. I'm not taking much. I am basically taking riding gear and cameras. Little bit of clothes for when I'm not on the bike, but it is basically cameras and riding gear. Using my tail bag, Moskomoto duffel, as my main bag, and then I'll have my backpack, and I'm going to carry my helmet as a carry-on. So mostly making sure everything's going to fit. That shouldn't be too much of a problem, but you know, you want to make sure. I will take my tablet so I can at least move footage around. I'm not really planning on editing anything while I'm down there. Yeah, 2 days and then a full day of travel, which I will have these cameras out and available, so I will film kind of as I'm doing stuff. And then I'm down under for a month. Fly from here, well, I fly from Denver to Dallas, and then from Dallas to Brisbane, and then Brisbane to Sydney. The way back is a lot easier. I fly basically Sydney to LA, I want to say, or Vegas, something like that, and then to Denver. But got my earplugs for the plane, got my Kindle, you know. It's just a matter of getting stuff packed up and then doing it. So I'm going to edit together this stuff. There's no real reason for me to show you what I'm taking because it's nothing special. I mean, it's camera gear. This will be a very short video, but that's all right. And by the time you see this, I will already be in Australia and riding around. So I'm going to get stuff packed up and put away tomorrow so that I'm fully ready to go, edit this video together, and get ready to be on the way. So I will talk to you on the way to the airport, probably. Let's go down under.